Everyone thought they knew this marriage. 30 years together, a life built around faith. A woman described by her daughter as loving, polished, and almost impossibly kind. A husband whose love for her, according to family, looked like something people admired. And then, just hours after Easter service, that picture shattered. In the middle of the night, inside a quiet home in Northwest Charlotte, an argument turned into a tragedy that left 3 children, a church family, and an entire community asking the same question. How could a life that looked so steady end like this? By all outward appearances, Tammy McCullum's life was rooted in purpose. She was 58 years old, a minister at the Well Worship Center in Statesville, and according to those who knew her, she was beloved by her congregation and deeply devoted to serving others. One report says she had delivered an Easter Sunday sermon just hours before her death. Her daughter remembered her as glamorous, warm, and full of life, someone who loved getting dressed up, doing her makeup, and bringing light into every room she entered. She had also been married to Eddie McCullum for 30 years. And this is the detail that makes the story even harder to process. Their daughter said there were no warning signs, no known domestic violence history, no pattern the family could point to and say, maybe that's where this began. In fact, she said her father's love for her mother was almost a staple in the community, something people looked at as a model. WSOC TV, that's what makes cases like this so haunting. Sometimes the most devastating stories aren't the ones where everyone saw it coming. Sometimes they're the ones that seem impossible until they're reeled.
In her daughter's words, Tammy McCullum was a loving diva in every sense of the word.
She was a grown woman, but my mommy was just a girl. She just liked to get dressed up and do her makeup and,
Today I spoke to Davelyn McCullum over the phone as she laughed through her tears, talking about the cherished memories with her 58-year-old mother.
She was probably as close to perfect as, you would consider a human being, being able to get close to perfect.
Police say Tammy's husband of 30 years called 911 early Monday morning and told them he shot his wife after an argument. It happened at their North Charlotte home on Cardington Court. Their 3 children now left with so many unanswered questions.
A lot of confusion for the most part, Hunter. I don't even know if confusion is the good enough word. What happened?
She says her parents never had any issues, no domestic violence problems or anything, and they loved deeply.
My dad's love for my mom was almost a staple in the community. The way that my father loved my mom was goals, for lack of a better word.
And his praise will continually be in our mouth.
Tammy was also beloved by the congregation at the Well Worship Center Church in Statesville, where she was a minister. Her daughter says she was always a servant to everyone.
I don't think we really know what we've lost.
Police charged 61-year-old Eddie McCullum with first-degree murder. His bond was set at $1 million. Local reporting also said he had worked for Charlotte-Mecklenburg Schools since 2023 and had been suspended with pay from his position as a teacher assistant. I wonder if he is still getting paid because this happened Easter Sunday. But anyway, for the family, the charge itself didn't answer the deepest question. Tammy and Eddie's 3 children were left trying to make sense of something their daughter described simply as confusion. Not anger first, not certainty, confusion. How does a marriage that looks strong from the outside end this way? No one says they saw this coming. So, did the man just snap out, or were they having problems in their marriage that they kept a secret? Regardless to that, Tammy's life should not have ended at the hands of her husband. At the Well Worship Center, the grief was immediate and profound. The church asked for prayer, said its heart was broken, and made clear that it stands firmly against violence in any form. Friends and community members flooded social media with tributes describing Tammy as sweet, beloved, and unforgettable. Even police noted that there had been no prior calls for service at the home in the past year, aside from the shooting itself. So, what do people do with a story like this?
More than 200 people came out here to Hornets Nest Park in Charlotte to honor Tammy McCollum on her birthday. She would have turned 59 years old. Family and friends hugged, shed tears, held red balloons, and listened to one of Tammy McCollum's favorite songs. He knows my name. Instead of planning Tammy's birthday, loved ones held a balloon release to remember the life of Tammy, who was shot and killed by her husband, Eddie McCollum, a teaching assistant at Southwest Middle School in Charlotte.
A world of emotions, just mostly trying to hold together for family and friends. But it's just going to be tough, a long road, probably for the rest of my life.
Davion 40 was Tammy's son. He says the red balloons are symbolic. Red was Tammy's favorite color.
What was going through my mind, what I was thinking at the time, was that she was being let free. She was going to be with the Lord and someone she highly praised.
Only God knows what happens.
Joyce Phillips worked with Tammy and her husband Eddie for 8 years in ministry.
I was numb. I was numb because I had just seen Eddie, and it's just, I don't know, because I know one thing, the couple that I know, he really loved his wife. They loved each other.
Something that really stood out to me from this news clip was what the woman who worked with and was a friend of the McCollums said. It stood out to me when she said Eddie loved her. My first mind immediately said, you want a man that loves you to life, not death. And I guess it came to me that way because at this time, there is no reason or explanation why he did it. And sometimes both men and women, we all have to be careful how a person shows their love. Is it in a controlling way, or maybe I can't live without you type of way? One thing is for sure, and two things are for certain. Tammy McCollum isn't coming back, and she trusted the wrong person.